What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be discussing the mysterious Hazard Zone game mode in Battlefield 2042, what it could actually be, and also why it could end up being a huge win for the game if it all goes to plan. Funnily enough, despite the fact that DICE have revealed a fair bit already about Conquest and Breakthrough, two of the fan favourite modes in Battlefield, there seems to be even more intrigue and hype around this unrevealed game mode known as Hazard Zone, even though we really know nothing about it whatsoever. All they've actually said to us about this mode is that it is called Hazard Zone and that it's a high stakes squad based game mode that will give us those sweaty palm moments that we're used to from different modes like Battle Royales that are just a bit more intense than regular multiplayer and are essentially those do or die type of game modes where you really only get one shot to win. If that were all that they told us, I reckon 99% of the player base would be assuming that it's just another Battle Royale after the crazy success of games like PUBG, Fortnite, Apex and Warzone over the last 3 or 4 years. However, they did actually come straight out and tell us that this is not a Battle Royale mode and that at least as of right now they have actually got no plans for a BR in Battlefield 2042. Leading into the announcement of Battlefield 2042, it seemed like everyone was straight up expecting a Battle Royale and almost penciled it in already, but now that we know it's not a BR, just what could this Hazard Zone game mode actually be? I've heard a lot of chatter around the community lately, all of which I actually completely agree with, that this could be more of an escape from Tarkov type of game mode, which for those of you who haven't played Tarkov, it's essentially a squad based survival game where you essentially need to survive and escape Tarkov as the name suggests, but if you and your squad die, you actually lose all of the gear that you entered that match with, so it's arguably even more high stakes than a Battle Royale because the result of your game actually impacts games in the future. Now, there's really no confirmation at all around this speculation, it's just the mode that I think people look to when they confirm that it's not a BR, but it is still a high stakes game mode because Tarkov really blew up in early 2020, and although it's not nearly as big as games like Warzone or Apex, it's definitely still a pretty popular game and it's really fun to play and watch, which is always an enticing thing for game developers. When you can have game modes that people stream and make content on and their entire viewership are on the edge of their seats waiting to see what happens. I think another reason that it's been linked to Tarkov is mostly due to the name, honestly. When you think of a Hazard Zone, you generally think that the best thing to do is to get away from that Hazard Zone and survive, so that just makes a lot of people think even more about Tarkov in a way, and so I'd imagine that's also a pretty large reason as to why Tarkov does seem to keep getting linked to this mystery game mode. Now, regardless of what the mode ends up being, I think this could be a smart play for DICE as there is so much that they could gain if it ends up being successful, yet because it's not a BR, I think there'll actually be a much lower expectation for it, so if it ends up being a bit of a bust, then I honestly don't even think that matters. All of the hype right now around Battlefield 2042 is centered on the awesome trailers they showed, which all relate to regular multiplayer, so the players are definitely hyped for just the base game, and this mode is just a bonus, so if it sucks then it's not nearly as much of an issue as it would be if this was the single thing that most people are excited for. We've seen what Warzone has done to Call of Duty, gaining even more traction than it initially had, which is absolutely wild considering it was already the highest selling franchise every year. So there are clear benefits to having a free to play exciting game mode attached to your main franchise because it gets people in the door for free and shows them how great the game is, when it probably wouldn't have done that in the first place as those people would have had to risk a $60 entry fee, at which point they might just stick to what they already like. Having Hazard Zone be free to play, which they've confirmed that it is, that's going to bring in millions of new players to the Battlefield franchise. Many of those players might have never played Battlefield before, and even if the actual Hazard Zone mode isn't all that good, if the gameplay is solid and the graphics are solid and everything is fun other than the mode itself, so many of those players are still going to buy the full game, and then at that point they've gained so many new players that they probably never would have without the free to play mode, which is great for DICE and even better for us as the player base. New fans are always such an important part of any game. If everyone was just a hardcore Battlefield fan, then there's so much less hype in the community, everyone is really good at the game and it just seems to get stale so much faster like it did with Battlefield 5. But if there are new excited players out there who are only now beginning to fall in love with Battlefield, that's massive for the health of the player base, it's massive for content creators, and it's obviously massive for DICE as well. Like I said earlier though, if Hazard Zone is kinda shitty, then honestly I don't even think that really matters because people are already hyped for the game regardless of what Hazard Zone is, and because it's already confirmed to not be a Battle Royale, the expectations are already not nearly as high as they would be. DICE making their own mode and making something unique from Warzone and Apex and Fortnite is such a smart way to go about it in my opinion, because if it works out then that'll be huge for the game, but it may also just start a new wave of these other versions of Battle Royale type modes where they have some similar aspects but they're all different from each other, and I think if it pays off that could be great not only for this game but just for the entire gaming industry, as it just creates competition and causes other companies to think outside the box. That is going to do it for this one though guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think Hazard Zone is going to be, or whether or not you guys are excited excited for it. I'm definitely interested to hear more about it, but at the same time, I'm so keen for the regular multiplayer that if Hazard Zone kind of sucks, then I honestly don't even care, and that definitely feels great to not have so much expectation all on one thing. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like down below, and if you are new, then consider subscribing to the channel with those notifications on. Thank you all very much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you all out there on the battlefield.